Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an exciting evening in Storm basketball as they are set to face the West Chicago Wildcats. I'm thrilled to be here with you, calling the shots. I'm Ryan Lewin alongside Nate Grandies in the broadcast booth. We're set to have an exciting day of basketball with us today.
Couldn't agree with you more, Ryan, as we're set for a great night of Storm basketball. South Elgin Storm come...
Wait.
Okay. It's South...
The West Chicago Wildcats are coming into this game following a 20-point loss to Glenbard East. And the Wildcats have also lost 4 of the last 5 games. South Elgin, on the other hand, are coming in this game following a 42-point win against Streamwood Sabres. They have a 4-game win streak, trying to extend that to 5 here tonight.
To follow back up on that game for the West Chicago Wildcats versus Glenbard East, the South Elgin Storm defeated them back on December 8th in a very nice victory.
Yeah, the last time these two teams faced off, the Storm beat the Wildcats 56-41. The Storm in conference matchups are 4-0, second in the Upstate 8. West Chicago Wildcats in their conference are 1-3 and last in the Upstate 8. I had the opportunity to talk to the Storm head coach, Philip Church, before the game, and as he brought us our custom heating and cooling keys to the game, he gave me 3 words: limit the turnovers, execute against his own defense, and establish defensive pressure. According to Coach Church, if the Storm can do these 3 things, they should come out with a victory here tonight.
Couldn't agree with you more, Ryan. That sounds like a great game plan, as always, from Coach Church. Coach Philip Church in his 2nd year coaching with the South Elgin Storm.
West Chicago head coach Roy Ramos has his team ready to fight this a strong Storm offense. I asked Coach Church how his team prepared for tonight's game, and he just told me it's just a whole bunch of reps against the 1-3-1 zones. They want to get up a lot of shots. They've been shooting a lot in practice and watching a lot of film against the West Chicago Wildcats. I also asked him if he had any adjustments or game plan changes against the West Chicago, and he said a couple of the guys have been sick, and so because of that, they're going to have a lot of different lineups in, and they're going to bring in different looks around their zone defenses.
This game is brought to you by one of our many sponsors and our season sponsor, the Bear Family McDonald's, proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 35 area McDonald's restaurants today. And our friends at Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or certified pre-owned? It's express online buying made simple. Visit rosenhyundai.com or genesisofalgonquin.com.
We just want to let you know that this game is brought to you by the Beacon Academy. All of this is being done by high school students. Myself, a junior, alongside Nate Grandies. You're a sophomore. This is your first broadcast. How are you feeling? You excited?
A little bit nervous, but it should be a great night for Storm basketball.
We're glad to have you guys with us.
Good sportsmanship is one of the primary purposes of the Illinois High School Athletic Program.
Both teams get ready for this game.
And must abide by the decision of the officials. Spectators can support their program.
As both teams get ready for this game, both teams come in this game pretty confident, hoping to get a victory themselves. Both teams getting ready for the national anthem.
if you want to grab anything, just look in here. These are all the stats.
You can talk about that if we come back to it, Coach, if you want to.
So I'll be like, the leading scorer for South Elgin coming into this, for the Storm coming into this one is, so Caleb Gianna. Oh no, that's West Chicago. That's why. Okay.
Wait.
The leading scorer for the Storm coming into this one is Ethan Zagor Jr.
Say that and just say other key facts.
Thank you to our high school band.
The leading scorer coming into this game for the Storm is Ethan Zagor Jr. He sits at 9.8 points per game on the year. He's had a great year, shooting a very nice job from the field.
Jonathan Walsh.
As we get into the player announcements and all these great players for West Chicago, and of course the Storm going to do their.
Number 21, Mason Williams. And number 20, Tristan McWilliams.
Christian McWilliams coming in. That's the last of the West Chicago Wildcats, and here comes the South Elgin Storm.
5'9" junior. Number 2, Shaylin Shakti.
Shakti's had a great year.
A 6'2" senior. Number 12, Ethan Zagori.
We talked about Zagori with those points per game, and there he is right there.
A 6'4" senior. Number 20, Derek Clark.
Derek Clark, the senior, the tallest player for the South Elgin Storm, sitting at 6'4".
Number 22, Luis Madera.
What a game he had last week, man.
A 6'3" junior. Number 24, Ishmael
George, a multi-sport athlete. He played tight end and defensive end for the football team, and he's the big man for the Storm.
Head coach Philip Church ready to take his team against this Wildcats. It's going to be an exciting game. Two highly athletic teams. We're set to have a really exciting matchup.
Yep, and it's, of course, anyone's ball game, just like every game in the basketball world.
Rory Ramos and Philip Church giving their team a little pep talk coming to this game, giving them some words of inspiration. Let's see how this game plays out.
Just a few seconds away here from the tip-off. Coaches giving their final speeches, and we're going to be underway.
Looks like Mason Williams for West Chicago is going to lead the tip with the Storm, Ishmael George. And we're set. Storm wins the tip-off. Shaylin Shakti taking it up. Finds Dale Clark. Back to Shakti. Tight defense early on by this Wildcats defense. Clark looking for his man. Vergara. He finds Zagori. To Shakti. Back out to Vergara. Storm passing the ball a lot in this opening drive. Clark, the drive. The floater is no good. Rebound, Wildcats.
And there was a 30-second possession for the Storm.
Marcus Brewell bringing it up for the Wildcats. The drive. Tight defense by Dale Clark. Shakti with the rebound. Taking it out for the Storm. Clark taking it up court. Finds Vergara. The three. No good. Rebound. West Chicago. And they're going to call a foul.
He hit the floor hard there.
Number 24, his first, team first.
Foul's going to go on number 24, Joshua Hardy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's going to go on Ishmael George.
Inbound for West Chicago.
Storm pressing hard. Jonathan Walsh. Guarded by Shakti.
West Chicago finally goes inside the perimeter.
Walsh finds Rewell, guarded by Vergara. Tight defense. Driving to the hoop. Tried to find Giannokis, couldn't find him. Derek Clark in transition, finds Vergara, the wit corner three. No good once again. Ishmael George almost got the offensive rebound. Possession goes back to the Wildcats.
No points so far in the first minute and 40 seconds. We'll see if that changes here on the possession for the West Chicago Wildcats.
Caleb Giannokis finds Walsh. The corner three, it's no good. Rebound Vergara. Fighting for the ball, looks like. Last touched by West Chicago. Storm's going to take possession.
Lots of hustle for both teams early in this one.
Shakti's been a key factor for the Storm offense, leading them on every drive. He always gets the ball out to he always finds his open man. He does a good job playing point guard. West Chicago in transition almost turns it over, and the refs, he did step out. Another turnover early on for this West Chicago offense. Playing a little sloppy. Hopefully they can fix that up early in the going.
Speaking of Shaylin Shuck, he's averaging 8 points per game, second on the Storm in scoring.
Following Zagori. Vergara to Clark, top of the key. Gets it to George down low. Guarded by Williams. Puts it up, and a foul is going to be called on Williams. Ishmael George is going to head to the line for South Elgin.
George shooting 53% from the line this season so far. So, 50-50 chance here.
Ishmael George, the man in the middle for this Storm. The big man, whenever the Storm needs him, he's always going to be in the paint. The first shot's up, and it's good. South Elgin gets their first point of the game off of George, free throw. He gets ready for another. Looking to tie the game.
So
Can't
George,
tie the game. Offensive rebound by Clark. Shukti to the top. Shukti looking for his man. Finds George. Back to Shukti. Tight defense by the Wildcats. Clark, the corner three. No good off the glass. Rebound Wildcats. Walsh.
And you can tell the crowd does not like that call by the refs. Many thought it was a travel.
The three is no good by Brewell. Rebound to Clark. Shukti in the wing. The three. It's good. Shukti, three-pointer.
Shukti with the first field goal of the game and the first three-pointer of the game.
Shukti's one of the strong shooters, like you said, second on the team in scoring. Walsh, the three is no good. Rebound once again goes to Clark. Clark taking it up in transition. Loses a dribble. Ishmael George in the corner. Back to Shukti. Driving. Clark, the corner, the wing three is good. Two consecutive three-pointers for the Storm. It's going to force West Chicago to take a timeout.
You really got to think that's about as good as it could have gone for the Storm. No points for either team for the first 2 minutes, but then the Storm 7 straight points right there. Free throws from George, and then 2 threes from Clark and Shukti.
Rory Ramos in the West Chicago trying to get his team back on track as they're down 5 early on this first quarter.
Tom the Plumber, Inc. is a family-owned and operated company committed to providing plumbing service and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber, honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumber.inc.com or give him a call at 847-513-3971. That's 847-513-3971.
Both teams in the huddle. Storm with the early lead. Both teams have 1 foul. Both teams playing it clean. No, it doesn't look like the Storm is going to make any substitutions. West Chicago trying to get the team back on track. Down by 5. 4 minutes and 25 left in the first. Walsh taking it up, guarded by Shukti. Walsh finds Giannokis. Driving, double team, the corner three. Addleton's no good, rebound Zagori. Foul is going to be called, looks to be on South Elgin.
Lots of hustle shown for both teams so far in this game. We got 4 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Foul's going to go on Ethan Zagori, that's his first. Walsh in the corner, driving to the hoop, guarded by Shukti and Clark. The mid-range shot, no good. Nice defense by the Storm. Offensive rebound, Giannakowski, good for the West Chicago.
Just like that, West Chicago on the board for the first time tonight.
Derek Clark in the wing, finds in the corner George. The three, no good. Rebound the Wildcats. Walsh and Shukti, a matchup we're going to be seeing all night long, face to face. Clark, tight defense, finds Williams. Aldleton, poked out of bounds. Good defense by the Storm.
Number 10, Connor Hodges comes in.
Derek Clark's going to take a seat on the bench. He's been playing good. He's the tallest guy on the Storm, and they've been finding him up and early in the paint, driving to the hoop, getting the ball nice and early. That's what we like to see. Vergara, the pump fake, the mid-range shot, no good. They're going to call a foul on West Chicago.
Foul number 10, his first team.
They're going to call that on number 10, Braden Alderton, 6-footer guard, the junior. Zachary Weigel is checking in for the West Chicago. Storm ready for the inbound. Zagori in the wing, guarded tightly. The drive out to Vergara. Under the hoop, reverse layup is no good, but he's going to get the foul called. He's going to head to the line for 2 free throws.
Storm headed line for the second time tonight. First time around, George went 1 for 2. That were their first points of the night. That was about 3 minutes ago. We'll see what Vergara does here.
Vergara, an aggressive player for the Storm. He's always getting his points in the game. Coming off 2 big games recently, putting up double-digit points. First free throw is good for him. South Elgin shooting a near perfect from the line early up. That's something that the Storm have been doing well. The second shot is good. 2 for 2 from the line.
No surprise there. Vergara shooting 85% from the line so far this season. So great job there. Number 1 for the Wildcats, Marcus Bruhl checks in.
Caden Scholl checking in for the Storm. He's going to take the spot of Ishmael George. Welsh, guarded by Shukti once again. To Brewell. Brewell guarded by Vergara. Out to Weigel. Back to Giannakowski. Walsh once again top of the key. South Elgin lead it early, 9-2. 2 minutes 30 left in this first quarter.
Great game so far. Storm dominating early though. They give it to Hodges. Hodges gives to Shutke, who gives to who gives to Shukti for 3, and it's good! The Storm in double digits, and Shukti with his second 3 of the game.
Weigel in transition, no good. Rebound, Hodges. Shukti in transition, leading the Storm. Vergara. To Scholl. Out to Zagori. The drive. Vergara once again. Drive to the hoop, spin move, layups, no good. Brewell with the rebound, taken out for West Chicago. West Chicago looking to find their first 3-pointer of the game. Weigel finds Giannakowski. Guarded heavily, rebound Scholl.
Great rebound there for the Storm. Great effort that we've seen all game so far.
Shukti, the deep 3. No good, almost had it, just off the rim. Rebound Welsh, taken in transition for the Wildcats. Behind the back pass, it's good to Brewell. And I just want to say one thing. For our Beacon Academy, our score bug and score clock is not working. But the score right now, South Elgin leads 12-4, 1 minute left in this first quarter. Vergara, guarded by Welch. Shukti. Vergara. Double team. Out to Shakti. Another deep three. Can't just bounce off the line. Can't get that to go. Connor Hodges with the offensive rebound.
What effort there from Hodges.
Vergara drives the hoop, and the layup is good. He's got 4 points in this one. Connor Hodges on the defense. Guarding Tiley. Shakti, the defender now. Welsh. Tight defense by Shakti. Gets it out to Weigel. Double teamed is good. West Chicago over 2 Storm defenders. 14-8 is your score. 10 seconds left in this first quarter. Zagori, the corner. Drives to the hoop. Finds Vergara. Pump fake. Another Shakti deep three is no good. And that's going to end our first quarter. South Elgin leads 14-6.
West Chicago ends the quarter on a nice 4-2 run, though, so some nice inspiration for them. And we go to the second quarter as South Elgin leads 14-6. One of our sponsors, Wise Guys Pizza. For the best pizza in town, it's Wise Guys Pizzeria in South Elgin. Check out their new and improved online ordering system at I'mAWiseGuy.com. See their catering menu online for parties or any occasion. It's all there at I'mAWiseGuy.com.
One thing I want to see from the Storm, they've been getting a lot of offensive rebounds in this first half, but they haven't been able to execute on all of them. I think if the Storm can benefit off the bounds and find their wide open man, get in the paint, be a little bit aggressive in the paint, I think that their lead could have been extended by now.
Couldn't agree with you more, as those second chance points, those can really help any team in a game of just a game like this where both teams have given a lot of effort. West Chicago, they've given a lot of effort, and South Elgin's gone to the line twice, none for West Chicago.
The Storm in their last 5 games, they've struggled in the first half, only averaging about 10 to 14 points a quarter, as we see right now. The score at the end of the first is 14-6. The Storm in the last 5 games, the Storm have got most of the points in the second half. In the first half, they averaged 10 to 14 points per quarter, and then the second half, they average about 15 to 20. So let's see if they can be a little bit more aggressive, get in the paint, find the open man, and make the easy shots.
Big thing that the Storm have already gotten going. They've got 2 3-pointers, one from Clark and one from Shakti. Actually, Shakti has 2 in this one, so it's 3 3-pointers for South Elgin already compared to the Wildcats, none. And here we go, second quarter underway.
Ryan Brown and KJ Brooks checking in for the Storm. Scholl, the center for them. Welsh, been played the whole first quarter, guarded by Brooks. Giannakis to Welsh, the wing 3, no good, rebound goes to Brown.
Zagori, the only starter still in for the Storm.
Brown finds, and there is a foul. Charging foul is going to be called on the Storm. The Zagori 3 is no good.
Great job for Tommy Doyle to set his feet there for the charge. And West Chicago is going to get the ball back.
Wildcats, Zachary Weigel still in the game for the Wildcats. The 6-foot forward and a senior for the Wildcats. KJ Brooks guarding Welsh. KJ Brooks got to poke that one out of his hands. It's going to go out of bounds. West Chicago is going to maintain possession. (14-6) is your score. The Storm are leading. 7 minutes, 28 seconds left in the first half. Walsh. Welsh, the corner 3, no good. Once again, Connor Hodges with the rebound. In transition comes Brown.
We talked about the threes. West Chicago, no dice there.
Connor Hodges thought about the 3, out to Brooks. Brooks drawing up a play, finds Zagori. Scholl calling for the ball. KJ Brooks, the wing 3, no good. Offensive rebound, Hodges. He put an elbow in the Walsh.
We talked about those offensive rebounds and the second chance points, and right there, Storm couldn't capitalize on the offensive rebound. And just like that, West Chicago going to get the ball back once again.
14-6 is still a score. 30-second called timeout. What's something you want to see from the West Chicago? What do you think they can improve on?
Well, Chicago definitely's got to improve on trying to get to the line more, as they just really haven't shown enough toughness trying to drive to that rim. They really just worked around the perimeter so far. And it's kind of a surprise as West Chicago has a lot more height than the Storm. Of course, Tyler Yukama, 6'10", the center. He's a senior, and he sits at 195 pounds.
The Storm fans are out here to support their team. Tonight's theme is a holiday Christmas theme. The student section, Santa hats, and red flannels all across the student section. You love to see it. Students supporting the Storm.
You really do nothing better than Christmas.
14-6 is your score. 7 minutes left in the first half. Welch finds Brewell. Brewell guarded by Brown. Brewell drives to the hoop. Gets the nice lay-in over 2 Storm defenders.
So we said we wanted to see them drive to the paint more, and well, they listened. Marcus Brewell with a great drive there. And that is a freshman, by the way, for the Wildcats.
Looks like he might have been taunting a little bit, the ref telling him something. The ref and Brewell was exchanging a little smile there. You like to see it.
Nope, you never know. Maybe he said a little bit of something he just shouldn't have.
It's all smiles in the end. Brooks, the drive, finds Hodges, poked away. Weigel to Brewell. What a combo. Brewell finds Welsh in the corner. Thought about it. Brown on the defense.
Driving to the
hoop is no good, but we're going to have a foul called on the Storm. Walsh is going to head to the free throw line.
So we said we wanted to see them drive, and we also said that we want to see them get fouls, and just like that, they're at the line, and also all their points have been in the paint.
Number 3, Welsh shooting 2 shots. His first one's up. It's no good. Ishmael George is going to check in back for the Storm. Caden Schul's going to sit down. Philip Church talked about early in the game how he's going to have different lineups in, and this is one that we haven't seen in the last 2 games. So it's good that all the players, that they come up with a different plan of execution. The second free throw's no good.
Walsh shooting 70% from the line, so 1 for 2 there, a little bit of a surprise. One of their better free throw shooters.
George to Brooks, the corner 3. It's up, off the rim and no good. Rebound, West Chicago.
No points for the Storm so far, just 2 points combined from both teams. That was, of course, the layup from Brewell.
That was Tommy Doyle, number 22, with the Wildcats on the rebound. Weigel guarded by Hodges. Out to Doyle, the layup is no good. Rebound, Zagori. In transition come the Storm. Kajer Brooks in the corner. Back to Zagori. Finds Hodges in the corner. The 3. No good. Rebound, West Chicago. Oh, fighting for the ball. Kajer Brooks fighting for it. And a jump ball is going to be called. Possession is going to stay with the Storm.
We talked about how Zagori leads the team in points, and I think that Coach Church knows that, and just as we say that, he comes out, but he had been in for the entire game up to that point. And
Derek Clark checking in for the Storm. Mason Williams on the Wildcats checking in. He's a tall man. He's playing center today.
Clark's got 3 from a three-pointer, which was their first field goal of the night for the Storm.
Brown making a move. Finds Brooks to Clark. Back to Brown. Making a man miss. The pump fake. The 2 steps, no good. Rebound, Wildcats.
Got to capitalize on possessions like that for the Storm.
There we just saw Caleb Giannokis with the Storm. With the Wildcats. Nice lay-in. Kajer Brooks drive. Finds George. The 3. No good. Rebound, Clark.
Great
Hodges
hustle,
can't
but
catch,
wrong team.
Hodges can't catch the pass. Giannokis in transition. Blocked by Connor Hodges. A big play. That got the student section round up.
However, it will be a foul on the Storm as
Kylo Giannokis at the line for 2. He's been aggressive for this Wildcats offense. He's at the line for his first time.
He needs both of these. They got just a 2-point game. 1 point, the Storm led 9-2.
First shot is good. Miller Meineke checking in for the Storm for the first time.
Vergara also checking in for the Storm, number 22.
Welsh is back in for the Wildcats after just being on the bench for about a minute. 14-11 is your score. 4 minutes left in the first half. Storm is going to keep possession. Nice defense.
Refs played a little bit of mind games with us there as he pointed to the left, and then he said it's Storm basketball.
Every time the Storm have the ball, the student section is supporting them, cheering for them. Maybe that could be distracting West Chicago. Looks like when I have a late sub come in, that's going to be Zachary Weigel checking in for the West Chicago.
Didn't even know he was out. He's been in so much this game. A little bit of a surprise.
He started off on the bench, but he's back. More like a starter the way the minutes he's getting.
Yep.
Vergara is going to take it out. Guarded by Welsh. Welsh playing nice defense. They limiting the Storm to limited points when he's defending.
Vergara, sorry.
Brown finds George. The three, no good. Rebound, West Chicago.
George 0 for 2 from 3 tonight. Hopefully he can fix that.
Weigel, guarded by Meineke. And the ball is going to go the other way. Storm are going to take possession.
20, his second, team second.
Vergara and George, the only 2 starters in here for the Storm.
Brown to the inbound of Vergara. Vergara still, he has 4 points in the game, but he's definitely going to get some more. He's getting the ball early and often, and I expect to see that in the second half too.
100%.
Meineke, tight defense by the Storm. A wild pass by the Wildcats, and that's going to go back the other way.
A little bit of miscommunication there, right there with number 22, Tommy Doyle, as on the floor 20 thought he had Doyle, but instead it just goes out of bounds, and it'll be Storm basketball. And West Chicago looking like they do not want to let South Elgin get down this floor.
The 6'1 guard, Caleb Giannokis, checking back in.
Clark's 3 is no good, but they
Ball's
called
going to
something.
go the other way.
The West Chicago ball.
Storm trying to limit their possessions. Coach Church talked about before the game that's one thing they were going to try and improve on. Hopefully he gets out of his players, because if not, it's going to be a talk in the locker room, all right?
Yeah, I think one thing they're going to talk about is the offensive rebounds and not getting those second chance points. Feels like it's been the biggest problem for the Storm here tonight. Hopefully they can change that with 4 minutes left to go here in the second. Storm lead West Chicago 14-11.
Walsh singing it up, guarded by Shukti. Giannokis to Brewell, guarded by Vergara. Vergara, tight defense, finds Weigel in the corner. Giannokis in the paint. The drive over Zagori is no good. Rebound, Shaylin Shukti of the Storm. That's going to be a foul called on West Chicago. That's going to go on Caleb Giannokis.
Seen a lot of loose ball fouls in this one, haven't we, Ryan?
A little bit of sloppy play. Just a little bit, but that's if West Chicago, well, both teams really are kind of playing sloppy. The score is 14-11, 3 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first half.
Storm trying to get some points on the board this quarter. They remain scoreless.
Clark, the wing 3 is good.
And just like that, Clark says, we're scoreless no more. He's got his second 3 of the night. And just like that, the Storm now lead by 6.
Clark, a strong 3-point shooter. Williams in the paint, guarded by George, a 2 big man. Looking for his man. Can't find Weigel, and a little bit of miscommunication. Just saved it from a backcourt violation, but it's taken away. Turnover by the Wildcats into the hands of Vergara. George thought about the 3. Vergara driving to the hoop, guarded by Giannokis. Derek Clark, the same
Clark
same shot,
again!
same place, another 3. That's his third 3 of the game. He's got 9 points, all coming from the 3.
Derek Clark, he's been the highlight for the Storm so far in this one.
Giannokis, guarded by Zagori. Finds Williams.
Back out there again.
Nice defense by George. He caused a little bit of a shuffle. Ball's going to stay with West Chicago. Whistle called timeout. West Chicago.
Not a surprise, as West Chicago definitely got a little bit troublesome in this past minute. Ever since the Storm put in Shakti and Zagori, the Storm now lead 20-11 with a timeout here.
So 1 minute timeout.
For portraits, family photos, graduation photos, sports teams photos, and more, for all of your photographic needs, contact Daryl Barnes Photography. You can find Daryl Barnes online at darylbarnesphotography.com.
South Elgin has a 3-2 home record, and it looks like if they keep playing the way they're playing, if West Chicago can get their team to get to the line and force turnovers and benefit off of them, Storm might be looking to find a 4-2 home record.
100%. The Storm, of course, they sit at 4-0 in the Upstate 8 play, and a win tonight could really get them in the conversation for being first, and it might put them in first.
West Chicago on the road, 1-3. Just their only win came against was against Larkin in Larkin, so that was 2 weeks ago. So that gave them a little motivation going into the next game, but they still lost.
This is a little bit of a surprise as Larkin, they're a great team. They've always been in contention for the Upstate 8 title, and just so far not clicking this year as they lost to the
West Chicago not playing
Bobcats.
like a 1-8 team. They're being aggressive and they're putting up a good game.
100%.
The Wildcats. Oh, a tricky pass. You saw that? He did it like behind the back. He tried to put it around the defender.
Yeah, that was an interesting move. We've seen the freshman Brule, a lot of play for him as number one, sitting at just 5'8". He's had a lot of playing time, and he
guy.
really looks like a junior or a senior out there.
Walsh, guarded by Shakti. The pass was intended to go to Tommy Doyle, and the refs are going to say it's going to stay with West Chicago.
George keeps his calm there like a true veteran, and a great job there.
The two big men for the Storm, Clark and George, both playing their part, staying in the paint, find the ball. The corner three by Welsh, no good. Shakti the rebound, poked away. Back with the Storm. George, the pass to Vergara. Reset by Shakti. Showing Shakti the screen by George. Finds Zagori. Vergara fumbled the ball a little bit there, but he got it back. Driving to the hoop. Back to Zagori on the wing. Drives to Shakti. 0 for 3 from the line, from behind the arc. That's not something we see often from him.
I believe
Walsh in transition, stolen by Clark in transition to Shakti. The layup, the easy lay-in is good.
And just like that, the Storm now lead by 11. South Elgin, their starting lineup is in right now, and
another defensive turnover by the Storm. In transition comes George. The
Ishmael
foul,
George, and one. He goes to the line. He's 1 for 2 tonight from the line. A mean drive there by Ishmael George. He's got 3 points tonight. After that, trying to make it 4 on this free throw.
That got the student section wild up. Ishmael George playing aggressive, getting into the hoop, driving to the hoop, and causing them foul and one.
100%.
George is 1 for 2 at the line today. His first shot, no good.
George shoots 53% from the line so far this season, and he's 1 for 3 so far, so not as average, but you got to think he's going to go to the line more with how much he drives to that paint and just loves getting down there.
West Chicago, the layup's no good. Ishmael George on the rebound.
Feels like he's been everywhere in the paint on both sides of the basketball.
We've seen him everywhere, in the paint and beyond the arc. Vergara finds Shakti. Top of the key. The deep three once again is no good. He's 0 for 4 beyond the arc. The pass to George is no good.
The second chance points we talk about, they got to capitalize there to George.
Janowski in transition, fell it on his way up. He's in the head to the line for 2.
If you're the Storm, you cannot let West Chicago get some momentum coming into the end of this first half. Storm lead 24-11. Got just 30 seconds to go here in this game.
The first shot to Ginokis. No good. Both teams, well, West Chicago is struggling from the free throws. We talked about them getting to the line, and if they can benefit off of that, that could be a game changer, but it doesn't look like they're benefiting much off of it. They're shooting about 50%.
Neither team shooting 50% from the line so far tonight, and the student section gets loud on that one, but he still makes it.
Looks like
George
Ishmael
comes
George
out.
Yep.
Hodges is in.
Brown Inbound to Shukti. Taking it up for the Storm.
Ryan Brown also in. Out goes Clark.
Vergara, the drive. Guarded by Baldwin. Vergara thought about it. Shukti resets. Fine Hodges. Drive. Good defense by Tommy Doyle, the Wildcats, but that's going to stay the Storm's ball.
Well, Chicago not happy about that call. Felt like the Storm touched it last. Instead, it'll be Storm basketball under the basket.
Vergara's going to find Brown. Brown driving to the rim. Rebound's no good. The second chance rebound by Hodges is no good, but he was fouled. He's going to head to the line.
Talk about the second chance point. Storm still not capitalizing on them, but they're going to go to the line here. Not a second chance point, but trying to get over 50% from the line.
Connor Hodges, his first time at the line. His first shot off the rim.
Another miss for the Storm. They've missed 3 free throws in a row. Not been the start they wanted from the line, so another thing that Coach Church probably going to talk about at the half.
2 seconds left in this half. The other free throw is good. Substitutions coming in for West Chicago. Looks like Jackson Williams, a 5'8" freshman for the Wildcats. And that's going to bring us to our half. The Storm leads 25-12.
Been a great game so far, but we got to think there's going to be 2 big things Coach Church is going to talk about at half. Second chance points, and what else do you think?
Benefiting off the turnovers. They've been getting the ball. They've been getting the ball out of the Wildcats' hands, taking it in transition. They've capitalized a few times, but not as much as they should.
Definitely.
25-12 is your score. It's the Storm lead at the half. Ryan Lewin and Nate Grundy's in the booth. We'll be right back.
back for South Elgin Storm basketball. The Storm lead the West Chicago Wildcats 25-12. And we'll see if Church talked about those main keys, which were second chance points and
getting benefiting off of the turnovers, being aggressive on the boards. They probably did. Coach Church has done this with this team before. They've came back in the second half being more aggressive, and that shows. The stats show that the Storm benefit more in the second half, scoring more points. Let's see if that's the case here today.
Storm in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter were scoreless, but then they rattled off. Don't forget, this game is brought to you by our season sponsor, the Bear Family McDonald's, proud supporters of our community since 1967. Stop by one of their 35 area McDonald's restaurants today. And our friends at Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or certified pre-owned? It's express online buying made simple. Visit rosenhyundai.com or genesisalgonquin.com.
As the Storm get ready to take the court, their two leading scorers are Derek Clark. He's got 9 points leading the Storm, and right behind him is Shailen Shukti. He's got 8.
Inbound to Brule. He gets past half court. Falls into the trap from Clark and Zagori. Shoved out, and it will remain Wildcats basketball, however.
Right away, Storm showing strong defense, preventing another turnover. Now, Brewell, the inbound to Janokas, guarded by Zagori. Finds Welsh in the corner, double teamed. Oh, nice defense. Shailen Shukti and Lewis Vergara had the double team on Welsh, prevented a turnover.
We're just 20 seconds in, and well, we're seeing a good game just like we've seen all day. And West Chicago has not looked like a bad team whatsoever. They have not looked like their 1-8 selves. Vergara misses that one, rebounded by Williams.
Brewell takes it up, finds his man, guarded by Clark. Tight defense, back to Brewell. Switch to Vergara, back out to 20. Brewell, guarded by Vergara. To Janokas. Janokas poked away by... That was poked away by Zagori.
Zagori got in the most playing time so far in this one by far for the Storm. Feels like he's been in there all game.
Zachary Wydell checking in for Williams of West Chicago.
Feels like Zach is their sixth man as he's not starting. He's gotten a lot of minutes for the Wildcats.
Janokas takes it up for the Wildcats. Drives to the hoop. Off of Clark. The layup's no good. Taken in by Ishmael George.
Shukti gives to George. George gives back to Shukti. Shukti trying to set something up here. He gives to Zagori. Zagori driving, gives down low to George, and it's good. Storm lead 27-12. Ishmael George now 5 points in the game.
Welsh finds 20, top of the key, to Janokas, to Brewell. Along the wing, guarded heavily by Vergara. The shot's no good. Rebounded by Ishmael George.
Vergara bringing it up. Gets a screen from George. Vergara kicks out to Clark. Clark fakes, shoots, no good. Tips it out to Vergara, who gives to Shukti for 3. Yes! The Storm now have 30 points. Shukti with 11 points on the day. And it's a great night for the Storm so far.
Shukti went 0 for 3 in the first half from beyond the arc. Then he was taking deep threes too, so maybe that will give him some motivation. Welsh, guarded by Shukti, to the hoop. The lane is good.
So the Wildcats on the board for the first time this second half. And here's Shukti to bring it up. Just scored the 3 for the Storm. They rattled off 5 straight off of 3 from him. And the down low assist from Clark to George. Speaking of Clark, he's got it here. Double teamed. Gives to Shukti, who gives out to Vergara, who gives back to Shukti. Looks like they're trying to play some trap here, but that leaves George down low, who loses the ball but it'll be last touched by Brule, the freshman.
Brule doing some nice defense against the big Ishmael George. Brewell's the 5'8", 120-pound point guard for the West Chicago. He's been speedy. He's been taking out all the most of the drives for West Chicago, and he's been doing good.
Out comes 20, and in comes Doyle, and here's Clark, who gives to Shakti. Shakti working on the freshman Brule. Gives to George. George still yet to get inside that three-point arc. Maybe Vergara can do it. No, he's going to give it back to Shakti. Under 5 minutes to play here in the third. George, big body, 7 points for him now. All of them have buttoned in the paint despite him taking 2 attempts from beyond the arc.
Janokas drive, poked away by Zagoye, picked up. Brewell, the three is good.
And the freshman scores his first, just his second basket of the night.
He's got 5 points. 7 points.
Make it 7. Clark gives down low to George, and they will call it on Tommy Doyle.
Both teams playing aggressive in the start of this first half. The Storm still lead 32-17, 4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the start of action in the third quarter.
Feels like a big focus so far for the Storm is get it down low to George, and well, it's happened a lot. He's got 4 points already in the second half because of it. What a pass from Vergara down low to Zagori, and Doyle bringing it up.
Janokas. Double teamed out the Welsh. Top of the key. Thought about the three guarded by Clark. Welsh, the corner. Guarded tightly. Driving to the hoop. The mid-range shot. The floor just no good. Rebound goes to Clark.
Both teams kept most of their starters in so far. Storm has kept their entire starting lineup in for the first 4 minutes in the third quarter, and they lead by 17 so far.
Zagori the drive to Clark, the wing, the three. Yes!
Derek Clark, his 4-3, all 12 points have come from beyond the arc. And just like that, he passes Shakti for the leader in points, both him and Shakti with double digits, 12 for Clark and 11 for Shaylin Shakti.
Brewell finds Weigel to Welsh. The mid-range shot is good.
So a great shot there by Jonathan Walsh. And just like that, the Storm lead 37-19, 3:17 to go. We've seen a lot of scoring in this second half, haven't we, Ryan?
Just like we talked about in the beginning, Coach Church wanted his team to be more aggressive. He said because of the players that the Storm have lost to an illness because they're sick, the different lineups he's been putting in looks to be working. And maybe he tried something different in the second half because they're already showing up more explosive than they have in the first half.
And one of the big guys that have stepped up tonight for the Storm, Derek Clark, he has shot 4 threes and made all 4 of them. He's shooting 34% from the three on the season, but this game will definitely bring it up. He leads the team in scoring. Let's talk about West Chicago. The freshman Brules had a great night. We'll see if he continues to have it.
Yeah, number one with West Chicago, Marcus Brewell. He's only a freshman playing varsity basketball. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
For all your heating or cooling needs, count on Custom Heating and Cooling of Chicagoland, featuring sales, installation, and 24-hour emergency service. Find them online at customheating.com. Custom Heating and Cooling, powered by Bryant, whatever it takes.
West Chicago, one thing that they can look out for in this second half of play, guard the perimeter more. You know that the Storm have some good shooters in Clark and Shakti. So hopefully if Coach Ramos talked about his team, maybe they can guard the perimeter, prevent a couple more threes.
One sub was made as Ryan Brown comes in for Shaylin Shakti.
Brown the drive, finds George, poked away by Weigel. Welsh stepped out of bounds. That's going to go back to the Storm.
It remains Storm basketball. See if they can put some more points on the board, possibly a 3, which would give them 40 on the night. 20 checks in.
Can I do play-by-play for Storm? And then you want to switch it?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Vergara finds Zagori, guarded by 20. To Brown, driving to the hoop. The 15-footer, no good. Rebound Clark, no good again.
Second chance points, man. They got to start capitalizing on him. 20 brings it up. He gives to Jonathan Walsh. Walsh looking at a screen from Doyle. And is it an illegal
It's going to go the other way.
And it will be Storm basketball. Maybe an illegal screen there. As in comes Connor Hodges. Out goes Clark. Out goes Zagori. And in comes
Caden Scholl. Louis Vergara having a quiet game, but we all know his capabilities. He comes alive in the second half. A clutch shooter. Caden Scholl thought about the three.
Storm got to space out there.
Brown. South Elgin passing the ball around pretty good. Top of the key, Vergara. Guarded by Brewell. The mid-range shot, no good. Offensive rebound, Connor Hodges. Taken away by West Chicago. Scrambling for the ball. Ishmael George can't pick it up. But Connor Hodges can. To Caden Scholl, the layup's no good.
They got to capitalize on these second points. On these second chance points opportunities. Another miss for a second.
37-19 is your score. 2 minutes left
Driving
in the third
down
quarter.
low, Giannokis is good. And just like that, West Chicago, they capitalize on the missed second chance opportunity for the Storm. And just like that, West Chicago makes it a 16-point game.
Vergara finds Scholl, back to Vergara. Hodges to Brown. Loses it, taken away by West Chicago.
Rule gives it up, Giannokis! Yes, sir! Giannokis, another basket. He's now got 10 on the day. Storm lead by 14 because of it. And here's Vergara.
Brown finds Caden Scholl in the wing. Brown almost loses it, retains possession. Tight coverage by West Chicago, finds the wide open Ishmael George. The three, no good, rebound West Chicago.
George 0 for 3 tonight, and 20 runs right into him. I don't really know what Ishmael George is trying to do there. His feet were not set, he put his hands up. No chance for getting a charge there unless, well, he really just flopped. That's the only chance he's gonna have. Here's a timeout called. So we keep on talking about those second chance points, and the Storm still have not been able to capitalize on them. We saw in the last possession, they don't get it, and just like that, Giannokis gets a layup. Once again, they don't capitalize, and Giannokis another layup.
On the bright side of things, the Storm are getting those turnovers. They're forcing the turnovers. They're being aggressive. They're getting the ball, but like you said, they can't get the points and they can't get the ball in the bucket from it.
And one big thing that's surprising me is how much that the Storm are not playing Derek Clark. He's had a phenomenal night, and he's not getting near as much playing time as guys like Ishmael George or Zagori.
37-23 is your score. The Storm lead. Almost the end of the third quarter. It's been an aggressive, a fun game to watch.
It's been a phenomenal game, and West Chicago, they're just really not playing like a 1-8 team. They only trail by 14. Storm lead 37-23. As we near the end of this timeout, we got 1:08 to play here in the third quarter.
If I'm Coach Church of the Storm, I'm telling his team to get those offensive rebounds. We keep talking about it, but that's something that they have to benefit off of.
Well, the problem isn't the offensive rebounds, it's getting the points off of those offensive rebounds. They keep on getting them, but they just cannot find a way to capitalize. West Chicago's got the ball here. They have a chance to make it a 6-0 run, possibly a 7-0 run.
They got to keep being aggressive. If they can, maybe they can turn things around.
Inbound here, and here's Jonathan Walsh. Walsh gets a screen from Doyle, working around the perimeter. He gives to, that's Jackson Williams.
Freshman. Taken in by the Storm, Vergara to Brown in transition. Here come the Storm. Connor Hodges. Back to Brown. Brown looking for his man. Back to Hodges to pump fake, and he walked.
One interesting fact about West Chicago, they have a freshman, juniors, seniors, not a single sophomore, compared to South Elgin's singular sophomore, which is, of course, Ryan Brown, who's in right now.
KJ Brooks checking in for the Storm. He's had a quiet game, but has proven in the past that he can have a big game.
Jackson Williams, the junior, gives it to Jonathan Walsh. Walsh, the senior, feels like he's the top guy on this offense, but Giannokis, he's had a great night. That's going to make it 12 points for him. And just like that, the Storm lead 37-25. And like I said, it's now a 6-0 run for the Wildcats.
Janokis getting most of his points in the paint. Storm got to put their big men in the middle. Caden Scholl and Ishmael George in there to help prevent it. Brown, the drive, the shot, falling down is good.
We just talked about the sophomore Ryan Brown, and he scores there. And Walsh pressing up, and they are really trying to go quick. Shot is up, and it is no good. Storm lead 39-23.
End of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter. Interesting why it's 39-23, as we saw Giannokis make a shot, but it hasn't been added to the scoreboard. Maybe it didn't count, and he doesn't. Looks like it did not. So
Giannokis getting most of his points in the paint, and he's been getting them off of passes. It's a dribble drive situation for him, and that's when the Storm had to come in and try and stop him.
It feels like it's always Walsh who's giving it to him too. And I mean, it feels like the top two guys in this offense are Jonathan Walsh and Caleb Giannokis, but also the freshman Marcus Brewer has impressed a lot, and I bet you, especially the coaches. I mean, he's a freshman and he's playing like he's a senior.
The point guard combination of Walsh and Giannokis have been on point. The chemistry between them is doing really good. Walsh doing his job as a point guard, finding his guard, the big man Giannokis in the paint, and he's getting those buckets.
Yeah. And of course the Storm, they cannot capitalize on the second chance points. It's just been a brutal night. They get the offensive rebounds. They probably are dominating the offensive glass. But you got to think Coach Church is definitely telling them, we get the offensive rebound, but we cannot put up the points. And it's just tough when you have those points in your hands, in your lap, and they just don't fall in.
Frustrating it could be as the player and the coach and the fans watching their team rooting for them.
Fourth quarter action sponsored by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin and Genesis of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or certified pre-owned? It's express online buying made simple. Visit online at rosenhyundai.com or genesisofalgonquin.com.
Both teams set on the floor.
Got 30 more seconds before the beginning of this fourth quarter. And you got to think Church is wanting to get the Storm going quick, but if West Chicago starts making this game interesting, who knows what could happen. Clark, the only starter in for the Storm at the moment.
West Chicago can still make a comeback. 39-23, Storm lead. Fourth quarter action. The Storm have proven that they get most points in the second half. They already came in strong, and they continue to do so.
Here we go, beginning of the fourth quarter. A little bit of communication with the refs and the coach for West Chicago. Coach
West Chicago head coach Roy Ramos talking it over with the refs. Seems to be some kind of confusion over there.
Who knows? Shakti, Zagori, and Clark, the only starters in, as Brown and Scholl in for the Storm.
It looks like the refs were talking about who had possession of the ball, and it looks like Storm does have possession.
Shakti looking to get someone to inbound, and it'll be Hodges to inbound. So Connor Hodges is going to give it to Shakti. KJ Brooks on the wing. He runs past him. Speaking of Brooks, he's got it now. Who gives to Scholl for three? No good. Rebounded. That one rebounded by Braden Alderton. Here's Walsh. Mid-range shot. No good. Rebounded by Hodges. Shakti driving up the court. Gives back to Shakti for three. Shaylin Shakti, no good. Rebounded by Hodges. Don't get the second chance points, but they go to the line. Trying to make it a 40-point night for the Storm, which we've seen a lot.
Shaylin Shakti struggling deep from three. He's been getting the up-close threes, but he's been struggling from deep. He likes to take those shots, and most of the time they fall, but today it's been a little bit different for him.
Thank you. Checking in for West Chicago, number 20, and the freshman Marcus Bruel. Hodges from the line, he made the first and he makes them both. The first player tonight for either team to make both free throws. Storm lead by 18. Walsh, got to think the Wildcats need a bucket here. Still trailing by 18. Doyle looking, gives to 20. Guarded closely by Shukti. Shukti driving, kicks out to Walsh for 3. Jonathan Walsh, he's still yet to hit that three-pointer. He's tried so many times tonight, and none of them have fallen.
KJ Brooks taking out for the Storm, driving against 20. Puts it up for the layup. No good. Offensive rebound, no good either.
What a job by Doyle making a football play there, and he gives it down low. Giannokis again in the paint, and it's supposed to going on the transition. Got 12 points for Giannokis.
14 points now.
Here's Clark. Clark gives to Brooks. Brooks gives to Shukti, who gives to Hodges. Kicks it all the way. What a pass. Brooks for 3. No good. Rebounded by Hodges. Great effort. And there's the second chance points we've been talking about all night long. And you got to think Church is loving that as they extend their lead back up to 18 points. The freshman Brule going to get tripped up there. And it remains an 18-point game. Looks like there'll be a foul.
A key matchup I've been seeing here in this second half and in the first half, but especially right now, between the Storm's Clark and West Chicago's Giannokis. Clark's been on Giannokis' case, but he's been getting to the paint and benefiting off of him.
And not a coincidence as they're both teams' leading scorers. Giannokis with 12 and Clark with 12. And speaking of Giannokis, he drives right at Clark, just like you mentioned. And Giannokis going to go to the line, trying to make it 14 points and trying to cut the Storm lead down to 16 points.
Both teams showing more aggression in this second half of play. 43-25 is the score. Make that 43-26.
Giannokis hits from the line. Out goes Doyle, and in comes Alderton. Out goes 20. No, he's just going to switch with Brule, which is an interesting decision. Maybe they're going for a transition play or just getting back on defense as the Storm love to push it, and maybe they overheard something from Church. Misses. Clark with the rebound. He gives to Brooks. Close pressure here from Alderton, who runs into Brule. Going to drive past him, gives to Hodges. Hodges nearly stolen by Alderton. No dice. Storm lead by 17. Would have been 16 had Giannokis made the free throw. He does not. Here's Brooks. He gives to Shukti, who gives back to Hodges. Hodges driving inside, kicks out for 3. No good. Rebounded by Brooks. KJ Brooks, what a pass down low. Who kicks to Clark for 3? No good. The student section was ready to erupt. I think we both would have as well, Ryan.
Even though Clark just missed that 3, I think we could spare him a little bit. He's been shooting outstanding from the beyond the arc.
Yeah, and it's really surprising. He only shoots 34% from 3 this season, but he's been great tonight, leading the Storm in scoring. Hodges gives to Brooks. Brooks working around the perimeter, nearly lost it. Who gives back to Shukti? Shukti. What defense here? Marcus Brule has played absolutely phenomenal defense for a freshman. Shukti drives in, and Shaden Shukti. Feels like it's a battle between who's going to score more between Derek Clark and Shaylin Shukti. Certainly extend their lead to 19. And Giannokis, who we feel like he's nailed every single one of those tonight, does not nail it there.
One thing the Storm have been doing well this whole game is getting the rebounds, both offensively and defensively. Just let's see if they can put them in the bucket off of the offensive rebounds.
100%. Clark driving inside will be his first normal bucket of the night. No more threes. And who's going to score more at this point, Ryan? Shukti or Clark?
It's 14 for Clark now.
14 for Clark, 13 for Shukti. Here's Jonathan Walsh. He's got 7. He kicks for 3, yet to fall. Taking probably 8 3-pointers tonight, and it's just not falling.
Just an off day for Walsh. Let's see if we can turn it around.
Alderton looking, gives to the freshman Brule. Marcus Brule. He has just not looked like a freshman whatsoever to me. Misses, rebounded by 20. 20 working, and what a pass somehow getting out of there. Alderton, great ball movement on this possession from West Chicago. Can it capitalize with points? 20, 3 men right there by each other. No more now. They spread out. Giannokis gives down low to Walsh. Walsh's shot is good. Giannokis, he's just been everywhere. He's been the MVP tonight for West Chicago, despite them trailing by 19. But hey, now it's not a 20-point lead anymore.
Walsh has 6 points.
Shukti working, looking, drives, kicks out. Clark, three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Clark. After being kicked out by Brooks, Clark's shot no good. He's going to go to the line. Could make it 16 points tonight.
Derek Clark, the whole game, he's been loving the corner, the wing three. That's where most of his threes have been going up and been going in the basket.
He's just been living in the corner, and, well, if it's Shukti, Vagara, if it's anyone, they just continue to find him in that corner for three. Clark makes his first, 15 points for him on the night, and out goes Morante, and in comes Ishmael George.
Williams checking in for West Chicago. Giannokis is going to have a seat. Well-deserved rest for him. He's got 12 points in this one.
You wonder if he'll come back in the game. Alderton also came out on that play. This one, what a hustle. Ishmael George, the second chance points. Storm now lead 50-28 by 22 points with 3:15 remaining here in the fourth.
It's 9 points for Ishmael George, all coming from the paint.
He's really just giving that hustle. Mason Williams tried to get in there, couldn't, and he's going to go to the line for two. Last time he was at the line, he shot 1 for 2. We'll see what he does here.
West Chicago, they've been getting to the line in the second half, and they've been shooting just like they did the first half. It's been on and off, around 50%.
A big thing is West Chicago, you really feel like they haven't played a bad basketball game tonight, but you look at the scoreboard and, well, the scoreboard speaks for itself.
Yeah, both teams fighting for the ball,
100%.
being aggressive. It's been an entertaining game to watch on both sides of the ball.
Mason Williams, a little bit too high on that one. 1 for 2. He's now 2 for 4 from the line tonight. Here's Shukti, who gives to Brooks, to George, and back out to Brooks. Down low to George. He's lived in the paint tonight. Brooks for 3. You bet! KJ Brooks drills that one. And the Storm lead by 24. 53-29, 2:40 to go.
That was KJ Brooks' first basket of the game.
He's taking a couple threes. He nailed that one. 20 makes that shot. His first points of the game.
53-31 is your score. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game.
George's shot is good. He's got 11, his first time not scoring inside the paint. Here's Marcus Brule, and this game is, well, you can never say over, but you got to think it might be coming to the end for the Wildcats. 20 driving inside. Great defense by Clark, and he's going to go to the line again. So the Wildcats definitely beat him to the foul line. We got some subs going to be happening here for the Storm. Got to think that Clark's night is over, George's night is over, and Shukti, most likely. But those are just predictions, so you never know.
West Chicago getting to the line in this fourth quarter. Could have hoped to see it earlier in the game, but it comes now, and maybe that's something that they can improve on going into the rest of the season.
So out comes George, out comes Clark, and Shukti stays in. There's 6 men on the floor right now. They got to figure it out. And no, Brooks is going to go to the bench.
Checking in for the Storm for his first time, Quentin Albert, a junior in South Elgin. Also checking in is Ryan Morante and Miller Meineke. Second free throw is good for West Chicago. 55-32, 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game.
Make it 55-33. And to inbound here for the Storm. And here's Shukti, the only starter still in. Shukti looking. Gives to Hodges, who kicks out to Quentin Albert, who just checked in for the first time today. This one, the shot from Miller, no good. Miller, Meineke couldn't nail that one. He's going to kick it out to Shukti for 3. You bet! Shaylin Shukti! And him and Clark.
16 points.
Both with 16. Rule shot, no good. The freshman misses. Rebounded by Albert. Quentin Albert moving it. He's looking, and he gives it to Shukti. That is a great night, along with the entire Storm team. They lead by 25 points now. Driving, Albert kicks out to the corner. Hodges, he goes inside. He shoots, no good. Rebounded by West Chicago. That's number 11, Ali Khan.
Drew Harms and Noah Cruz checking in for the first time tonight. Connor Hodges, he's been getting to the hoop, being aggressive on every time he's in the paint. He's had a quiet game. He finished his game with 5 points, but it was good to see him be aggressive in the paint.
And a much-deserved ovation there for Shaylin Shukti, who had a phenomenal night. 16 points. He had a 3 there. That's going to end his night. Free throw is good from Ali Khan.
Drew Harms, a junior here at South Elgin High School, getting his first minutes of the game.
Second is good as well, so he nails them both. And Meinzeke gives to Noah Cruz, who kicks it down all the way across. Meineke gives to number 5, Andrew Harms, and it is good for 3. Storm leads 61-35, under a minute to play. Ali Khan shot, air ball.
Drew Harms, a great mid-range shooter, but whenever he's in the corner, he always sinks those threes. Great player for the South Elgin Storm. He came in and made a difference right away. Already a 3 in his first minute in.
Gotta think this will be the last time out of the game here. It's been a great game. Storm leads 61-35.
Student section on their feet, ready to watch the Storm sail to victory.
Tom the Plumber, Inc. is a family-owned and operated company committed to providing plumbing services and installations of the highest quality and craftsmanship. Tom the Plumber, honest and affordable. Visit Tom online at tomtheplumberinc.com or give him a call at 847-513-3971. That's 847-513-3971.
61-35 is your score. Just under a minute left to play. The Storm are going to win this game. They're going to improve to 7-4. They're going to go.
They will be 5-0 in
conference
play, which is phenomenal. I believe it's their 5th win in a row, Ryan.
This will extend their win streak to 5. And West Chicago, they're going to drop to 1-9 and 1-4 in conference.
Full steam ahead. Cruz kicks out. Albert, you bet! Quentin Albert makes it 64-35. They could extend the lead to 30 points. And they've dominated just like how they did against Streamwood. And you said they were going to dominate in the second half. And boy, oh boy, have they done that in a lot more.
If only they could do what they do in the second half in their first, the score could have been even larger for the Storm. But they're happy to come out with the victory
Great
today.
to see the Wildcats still giving hustle. Tough fall there for number 4, Gavin Dyer. And here's the inbound for Quentin Albert. Storm leads 64-35, just 15 seconds to go. Will they dribble it out or will they take one more possession? Albert's got it. Falls into the trap. He gives to Cruz. Cruz kicks it to 3. Number 5, Harms, who gives to Cruz.
3 seconds, 2,
1. And just going to throw it up in the air. The Storm, a dominating win over the Wildcats. Wildcats now 1-9 on the year and 0 and yet to win a game in conference play. Sorry, they have won 1 game in conference play. West Chicago moves to 1-9 on the year. Storm moves to 7-4. They are undefeated against conference play. They beat West Chicago for the 2nd straight year. And same old, same old.
The Storm improved their home record to 4-2. Philip Coach Church improves once again as a coach, leading his team to victory. An explosive second half the Storm had, breaking out into the lead and never taking it back.
This past weekend, the Storm had a really close game against Schaumburg that they just barely pulled out, but just on Tuesday, they beat Streamwood by 40 points, and tonight they dominate the West Chicago Wildcats.
West Chicago's going to go home today watching film and trying to improve better on their game coming up next week. The Storm are going to drive home happy, going to bed knowing that they have a victory under the belt.
And 2 guys that are definitely going to get an ovation from the team, Derek Clark and Shaylin Shukti. An incredible night. Special thanks to all of our game sponsors, Bear Family McDonald's, Custom Heating and Cooling of Chicagoland, Rosen Hyundai, Tom the Plumber, and Daryl Barnes Photography.
This game was brought to you by the Beacon Academy, all brought to you by high school students, myself, Ryan Lewin, alongside Nate Grandies. Thanks for watching and listening in. Good night.